Your thing of the game was um to get to each level, eat all the dots, and then you would go to the next level. Another game was my favorite, and I know I said a lot of these, but this was one of my favorite games, and it wasn't a lot to it. It was called Paperboy, and you started on a mission, and you had like a certain amount of houses, and like say you was a paperboy, you had a bicycle, and you ride on your bicycle, and you would deliver papers, and like it was like certain houses. I think it was the White Houses you had to deliver the papers to. So you would throw the newspaper at the house, and if you didn't hit it at a certain point, you would miss it. And a lot of times they would unsubscribe you. So when you went to the next board, you didn't have that house no more. But like they had mailboxes, and if you throwed it right when you was riding through on a bike, you would get in that mailbox. I think you would get a little bit of extra points for that. But they also had like a little kid on a little kid on a like a little tricycle, and he would try to hit you, and you had to dodge him. Then they had a dog that would come out of the dog house, and he'd run after you, and then you had to ride your bike to get away from him. And if you stopped, he would knock you off the bike. And it was like a wheel that would come. I don't know where the wheel came. I don't know if the wheel came out the garage or what, but the wheel would come out, and you had to slide to the side to get away from the wheel. The Paperboy was a fun game. They had a couple of them. I had Popeye. Popeye wasn't even a good game to me, man. I hate to say that because I like the Popeye movies and the character, cartoon, the comic books, but Popeye wasn't a good game. It was like a platform game. It was like another game I want to talk about is Donkey Kong. Let me pause it for a minute with that Popeye. Donkey Kong was a game where the gorilla was at the top, and you had to climb up these little ladders, and he'd be throwing down barrels at you, and you'd be trying to dodge them, and other little things would come by to try to deter you from getting to the top to try to save the person or whatever it was. So getting back to Popeye, Popeye was just like there was a platform. You climb up these ladders, and stuff was trying to get you. And Bluto was Popeye's enemy. He would be walking by. He didn't grab you or nothing, but if he ran into you or something, then you would lose a man. And it was trying to get up to the top of different levels where Olive Oil was. And like I said, it wasn't a good game. It was really just like Donkey Kong with different characters to me. Another one was pro wrestling. Pro wrestling was like it was another game. Everybody had like a signature move. It was like a knockoff of real wrestling, just about. And that muscle game was something like a knockoff of real wrestling. You know, they had these made up character had a dude with a mask on called Starman, and a lot of different other characters on it. And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't super good either. With that, then we had Rampage. Everybody liked Rampage. Rampage was another game that was an arcade game, and all it was, you were different monsters: Godzilla, King Kong. Some of the I can't remember some, but some of the different other monsters. And what that was is like y'all would all be fighting against each other, destroying the city, like stepping on buildings and stuff like that, and climbing over buildings and fighting each other. And that's what it was. You was all monsters destroying stuff and fighting each other. But it was a good game. I love Rampage. Another one was Robocop, and like some of the other games I said, I bought Robocop because I like the movie Robocop. And on a game, it was something like the movie. You had the gun, you'd be shooting at the bad guys and stuff, And I think the main goal was trying to get, if I'm not mistaken, to get to the people that put you in the position you was in. Like in the movie, Robocop got shot up and his body parts didn't work, and they replaced him with like making him into a robot or a cyborg. Like and that was kind of basis of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Another game was Shinobi. Shinobi was like another ninja game. It was similar to Ninja Gaiden and a few other games, and you would throw the ninja stars. You could fight fight different characters, fight different bosses, and it was a pretty good game. After that, we got into Skate or Die. Now I like Skate or Die, and I didn't even skateboard like that. But you could do skateboard, you could do jump the ramps, downhill racing, and stuff like that. It was just a skateboard game, but it was just fun though. I mean, that was something like for somebody that, and I've tried to skateboard before, it wasn't for me. Or somebody that, and to me, it would be even for somebody that just likes skateboarding altogether, but couldn't skateboard. On that game, you do all kind of tricks, and you like make you. I guess if you was a skateboarder, be like, man, I can do all this in the game. I might can't do it for real, but I can do it all in the game. And I thought it was a good game. Another game was Strider. Strider was like a um something like a fighting game, but he was like, to me, the game he was on like a space station or something. And he had this like saber sword, and it would, like when he would swing it, you would see like flame or like laser behind it. When he was swinging, he would be fighting different enemies, different bosses. Strider was a hard game. The first and the second one, they was hard games. I never got to the last level because I didn't even play it a lot because I didn't really get super mad over games. You know how some people get mad, oh, I don't want to play no more. I didn't do that, but that game right there, it made you mad because you couldn't get to the next board. So I just said, I'm not even gonna play it no more. But it was a good game though. I can't say it was a bad game. It just was hard to me. Then we had Super Dodgeball. Super Dodgeball was another one of my favorite games. And you could play with different teams: Russia, Canada, Sweden, and different teams across the country. And I played with all teams, but like when I first started, I got the USA team. I played with them, and what it was dodgeball, regular dodgeball. You had these people on this side, these people on the other side of the net, and you be trying to hit them, and they be trying to hit you. Not a net across the line. So each person had like a power move, like say you was running, you started running, and then you pushed over and B, or you jumped up and pushed one of the buttons. When you was at full speed, you would like throw the ball and it would turn, and it almost looked like a frisbee disc that was glowing, and you would knock all the characters off of the board that on the opposite team. And then like one, you could throw the ball and it would like go up and stay in the air, and then it would like hit one of the players like that. And then it was like one special move you had, you would run and you would throw, and the ball would like spread out into like three balls and hit people like that. It was like each of them had different moves, and I beat Super Dodgeball. I beat it a few times, and I love the game. I love playing against people. It was a competitive game, but like with having the special moves with the dodgeball, it made it more fun. So I really enjoyed that. It was definitely one of my favorite games. We also had track and field. That was another game I loved. Now track and field was the only game that you could buy the pad. It was a pad that you put on the floor, and like it was enough for like two or three people to get on. And like say you doing the like they had the high jump, they had the hurdles, they had the like uh how many yard run or whatever, 100 yard run and stuff like that. And like you could get on the pad and you be running with your feet, bah, 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 trying to beat the person that's next to you. Man, it was fun because it had the pad. No other games had that pad to it. So it made it even more fun that you didn't have to use the controller. You pick the game, you just running on the pad with your feet and everything. And it was a real good game. And like I said, they had the hurdles, it had high jumps, it had archery. I mean, it was like track and field, the games you would play like outside a lot. And then we get to the last one, and this was another one that was one of my favorite games. It was WWF wrestling, because I love the WWF like everybody else. Love watching wrestling. You had Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. These are the ones that were wrestling at the current time when I was coming up, and when I bought the game, it was Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, and a lot of other ones, you know, from all the ones that was from the World Wrestling Federation. And it was fun. You had them moves, you can pin them, you can jump off the top turnbuckle and jump on them and do your signature moves, your figure four leg locks, and you know, and make them tap out. I mean, it was a great game, you know, and it was definitely one of my favorite games. And well, I'm gonna get ready and close this out. And this was my late '80s into the early '90s Nintendo NES video games. And I want to thank y'all for supporting me and watching me. And I will continue to do this. And like I said in the beginning, if you want to check out um, my podcast, you can look at them on YouTube on this channel. That's Major. And you can also go on my website, www.impaulmajor.com, where you can also purchase my clothing on there. And I ask you to continue to support. You don't have to support with money. If you want to, that's fine too. I appreciate it. But just to continue to support me and watch what I'm doing. And it's going to be more moves that I'm going to be making. So just stay tuned. And everybody have a blessed day. Thank you.